Hey everyone, it's finally Friday.
Sure is.
Friday night. We're almost to Saturday. What a day, man. What a day.
And another day, another storm chance.
Yeah. Get this. We got Josh Rugger on here.
Hey, Josh.
And what's funny about that is I got a little video to show you guys. So just to let you know that someone was at the Razorback game.
6 walks. You're Arkansas, you know that. You're gonna get that scatter
Watch
report,
this.
So you can be aggressive.
Look at that.
Fans are pumped up tonight.
I love he says fans are pumped up tonight. So Josh, I thought I'd record that from the game. We knew exactly when it was. The pitching change, the bottom of the sixth. So fun time. Woo pig, baby. We were saying you got to hit the gym a little bit more, though, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, we're just having fun. What's going on with the Storms? I mean, Zach, this has been such a frustrating weather pattern.
Yeah. There's no forcing.
I know.
Right?
No forcing. There's no upper level support. You've got the front that's off to the west. It's barely moving. A giant low pressure system in Nebraska brought Tornado Fest Central.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. There were tornadoes all over the place. You got storms that are really kind of cranking up with a lot of lightning. Oh my goodness. Look at all of the lightning off to the west. This is like a super highly electrified storm, but it's moving at like 15 miles an hour. It's going to take all night to get here.
Yeah, so we're thinking maybe late night tonight, potentially. But if they break apart, then no storms.
I'm not sold that they hold together, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to happen. You're going to see the storm chances that I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I think it kind of falls apart. The models are showing that the low level flow is decreasing. The storms are moving east. I mean, I'd be impressed if it just completely disappears. I just don't think we have much of a severe threat.
I think there'll be something. We'll get some rain.
Yeah.
Potentially.
You think from this?
Well, I mean, we had storms last night, and we had a 70% chance. So tonight we have a 40% chance.
Lights out. Yeah, we have a 40% chance. We did have the storms last night. That was a little bit more of a complex that made its way east, and now we just got this system off to the west that's just barely moving. I mean, these storms are moving 15 miles an hour, but really kind of they're back building, and there's not much flow. That still has a long ways to get here. And look, you can already see some outflow that's starting to show up just to the southeast of Barnsdall. So what is that going to do? That's going to weaken the storm because it's going to be outflow dominant.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to collapse the updraft. So wind profiles are terrible, absolutely pathetic. Josh did say something. Reed Timmer dominated the tornado in Nebraska. We watched that.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
That was very impressive. At the same time, very dangerous. And I have a feeling there's too many kids that are trying to emulate what Reed Timmer's doing.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some problems.
And they have to realize that he is a very special vehicle.
Yeah. That video is amazing. If you haven't seen it, it's incredible. You get to see the ghost train, too, of the tornado. But so we had a question on here. Where is the front at? The front's not going anywhere, and there's good reason for that. So this is where the satellite and radar, the front kind of lifting northeastward. This low pressure system is moving slowly northeast. So if that's happening, this is what the cold front's doing. That's why I just don't think these storms are going to really pop up across the area. I don't know. It's like, what? So you look at this, you see all of these storms down here are just going nuts. That's kind of bringing some outflow that's potentially could kill those storms. Models have just been absolutely horrendous. I mean, I got to go back a long time to the last time I can think of how bad these convective allowing models have been.
Yeah, so what do you think it is? Just a setup?
I think it's just about the weak steering flow. So, yeah. I mean, like, it would be like putting popcorn kernels in in a pan, heating it up, and then telling you which one is going to pop first. It's kind of like popcorn showers and storms, but I'm not necessarily, sold that that's even going to happen. So here's a look at the graph 3 kilometer, which, by the way, had so many storms this afternoon. It was terrible. But look at how this just falls apart. Now there might be maybe a little bit of development, and that's why you could see some storms, but I'm not sold on it. So that's a 4 kilometer graph. Here's the 3 kilometer, excuse me. Here's the 4 kilometer. Again, doesn't really do much. Doesn't even really have much for storms this afternoon or Saturday afternoon. I'm not sold on that either. Let's look at the HRRR. Here's the latest HRRR. So it's got that cluster of storms pretty well. What does it do with it? Now, the whole time this has been showing a complex to move in. And kind of, I don't know.
It's showing a lot Saturday morning.
Yeah, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. But that's only if that complex holds together. I mean, I think it's a crapshoot. 6 one way, half a dozen the other. I can't tell you what it's going to do because I have no idea. I mean, it's as frustrating and as difficult as this sounds. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Very tough forecast, but it sure is humid.
Oh, yeah. Deanna just said, I
Yeah.
don't like the humidity.
I don't like it either.
So no more rainfall to cancel our T-ball because of all the soaked fields tomorrow. I know. Man, the Rufus model was terrible today. It
sure
had
was.
storms all over the place. That thing took the phone booth down and should have gone back in time. So I showed Zach, by the way, Rufus. So here's a look at the 3 kilometer NAM has been worthless. Absolutely worthless. Let's see what that shows. The Texas Tech WRF doesn't show anything. That doesn't have any storms tomorrow. You know what? I'm starting to believe this. I'm smelling a rat for these rain chances over the weekend, and there's good reason for this. We don't really have the energy coming in. You can see the jet stream so weak, and then we got this ridge that's building in. Now, why are the storms popping up all over the place? I'm not sold on it.
Yeah, if we had that ridge right over us, we should stay.
We should stay dry. The periphery of the ridge is out in Oklahoma. I don't think it's happening. Now, this is going to be stormy. Northwest flow that's happening Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But I'm not sold on this. Now, the only thing that can bring all of these storms off to the west into our area is an MCV. If we get an MCV, that throws everything else off. Because what happens is a mesoscale convective vortex from this cluster of storms could develop here. It's a low pressure system. What that would do is that would fuel these storms, and then they'd eventually make their way. They would accelerate. They would make their way to the southeast. That's the only way. It's got to be a total chain reaction for anything to even remotely happen here. Warn on forecast is showing some isolated storms, but how does Spiro look on its decoration day? When is the cemetery decoration day? I don't know if that's tomorrow or if that's Sunday. I just think a lot of people are expecting storms this weekend, and yeah, there might be brief downpours from some isolated storms, but it's not a wash the entire day. No way, not even close.
Yeah, and the severe potential is pretty low.
It is. Now, we do have the mugginess, we do have the instability, but this is the reason why this forecast is so difficult. You can see all these little tiny little dots. These are all disturbances, all these little pieces of energy. And then you can see they're very subtle. Now, personally, it looks like this ridge is building in, and that's back building. And if there's maybe one little piece of energy, you can kind of see it there just to the north of Fayetteville. And then I don't know, man. That doesn't look like there's anything.
Yeah.
So we shall see. If we look at the rain totals, this ought to be interesting. I haven't even looked at this. What do the models show for rain? So the graph has like 4 1/100ths of an inch, which is like nothing. The European shows over an inch. The GFS shows almost 2 inches, and the NAM
About a
has
quarter.
0.2 of an inch. Pick your poison, man. Trombone fail music. That's trombone music. I don't know what else could we show, Zach. I just there's nothing. In order to predict precipitation chances and the timing, what everybody wants to know, timing, you have to use composite reflectivity, precipitation over the last 6 hours. When they're not working right, what's the point?
Yeah, but the best chance for rain definitely during the afternoons.
Yes,
Because of the
afternoons,
daytime heating.
daytime heating kicking in, storms billowing up. But here's a look at the GFS. The European has so much storm activity. It's like there. Maybe not as much on Tuesday, but still there. Wednesday, still there. Thursday, look at the northwest flow coming in. Now Friday is what I'm concerned about. This front's coming in. That's a lot of rain.
Yeah.
That doesn't look good for Zach. You get those Baja blasts the past few weeks.
Baja Blast.
Yeah.
I haven't had the drink, but
He's been blasting the
been
gym.
blasting other ways.
Yeah. So anyways, I want to read this discussion. We're going to go back to Mega Doppler. You can see those storms popping up. What does NWS chat say? A potential uptick looks like the best potential. Oh, here's a mesoscale precipitation discussion. Okay, well, they're saying increasing low-level jet. So let me show you what we're looking at here. Maybe this will hold together. If it does, it's going to be a really heavy rain event.
Yeah.
I'm not saying for sure it's going to not hold together. I'm just saying I don't know. I'll share this here. I'm also going to share a warn on forecast because I think that's kind of cool to show people, huh? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, it's not working.
I think I have a wrong link. Stand by. Yeah, it's working. That's just my link is not good. Stand by. Show you this. Share screen. That hail out of the storm Ponca City was crazy. That was a big storm. That was a very intense storm. Here's a look at the Weather Prediction Center. Isolated threat of flash flooding will exist overnight from slow-moving thunderstorms, increasing low-level jet to favor more storm coverage. So they're saying more storm coverage. Over the next few hours, some additional increase in low-level jet is expected. Favored convective sustenance, given the highly favored large-scale thermodynamic environment. Zero HREF guidance tends to favor areas of northeast, so we'll see the greatest potential. Yeah, I haven't looked at the HREF, but this is something called Warn on Forecast. This is a new thing that NSSL is doing, and it's pretty cool. Josh, I don't know how much experience you have with this either. You might not have a whole lot. It's pretty awesome. This is called convective reflectivity paintballs. So basically, DBZ that's greater than 40 DBZ, different model runs, different things, and you can see that coverage kind of increasing, which I think it's doing a pretty good job on what's happening right now. And then you can kind of see that cluster making its way to the southeast. And maybe with that low-level jet kicking in, there may be some extra storm development popping up. So that right there is 9Z, and 9Z is 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So late tonight, early
So,
tomorrow morning.
Yeah, really early tomorrow morning. So that's pretty awesome. We look at this, and we can look at there's many things that you can look at on this, just like a ton of stuff. Look at the MRMS composite. This is kind of a look at the thunderstorm activity, and it's got that really well because that's a nowcast. That's literally looking at what's happening now. It doesn't extrapolate out in the future. But there's also this too, composite reflectivity. So this is essentially showing you what it's expected to look like. And there it kind of is. Some of it falling apart, but some of it making it. I don't know.
It's very strange. It hasn't moved into southeast at the end.
I know. Why would that be? It doesn't make any sense
know.
why that would be. Yeah, there you go. The Warn On forecast. I've got it saved in my bookmarks, by the way. Sleep with one eye open, ripping your pillow, dying. Exit light. No, I'm so tired from yesterday's one storm chase. Jacob said, tagged you guys in a tweet. Reed's video, I'm still blown away. And the drone video too of the tornado engulfing the Dominator. It was
Good
sweet.
job doing that.
Some going on near Pawnee, but not necessarily, Matthew, because extrapolate. Is that not a word? Maybe it's not, Steve. I'm not extrapolate is a word. Yeah. Wonder why he thinks that's funny. Did you see the cars drive? I did. I saw that. And it's like, really? You don't have a Dominator. You don't have a car that can lay down. But yeah, you're right. That storm over by Pawnee is kind of going nuts. I was looking at the storm that was east of that by Pawhuska. Oh, yeah. Extrapolate it is a word. Big word. Okay. Well, I thought it was. You're laughing at me like I'm crazy. So there's so much instability right now that these storms could take off, and that's not
Some
good.
circulation there.
That's actually a pretty intense circulation. And this is exactly why we can't let our guard down. Look at this. This could be prompting tornado potential. Wow. That thing ramped up fast. It makes sense. Let's go to a 2-panel here. So Pawnee. Trying to see if that's elevated. That's 6,000 feet up. Storm velocity. Let's do base velocity. It kind of makes sense because you can see two cells that are merging together. That is going to create a little bit of a spin, and that's right where it needs to be, right at the tip of a hook. You got the inflow jet, or the inflow notch. Excuse me. Still showing up. Enrot's definitely there. That's something going on near Pawnee, and then it kind of fell apart again. Like the low-level jet overcoming crappy wind profiles, much like yesterday, but not as intense. I didn't even realize I had Mega Doppler. I didn't even have it full. There you go. Now you can see it a lot better. Look at that. That was a pretty intense storm.
No, it's still not full, Dan.
What? Oh. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, look at that. That's a pretty intense storm right there. Circulation pops up. Definitely there. And then kind of gusting out. See, these aren't going to sustain very long. Yeah, ramps up fast, disappears. Enough to do some damage. Let's look at, I'm going to go back to this. And we're going to take a look at, that's Warn On forecast. But I want to look at SPC here. Stand by. We're going to look at the mesoanalysis because I think there's a lot of CAPE in place. So first of all, surface-based CAPE, we're kind of getting capped now. That's another thing too that can choke off elevated storm, choke off surface-based storms. Upper air analysis still pretty weak. 850 winds, man, they're very weak. Wind shear 0 to 1 kilometer. Storm relative velocity is very weak. 0 to 3 is okay. 0 to 6 kilometer bulk shear, non-existent. I mean, it's just not organized. New hodograph map. Not a terrible hodograph. Supercell composites basically non-existent around us. No tornado parameter because of the cap. 0 to 3 kilometer cape, pretty high. I'll tell you what, man, the tornadoes went nuts today because of the 0 to 3 kilometer cape was over 200. It was a crazy day. Yeah, more than likely will fall apart and be outflow dominant. That does have a little bit of a spinniness to it, though, for sure. Well, I'm going to go a few more minutes. The interaction is briefly enhancing the low-level rotation southwest of Pawnee. Nice to see that rote V drop. Yeah. Basically, they don't want to cover a tornado. I don't blame them. Boy, it's been a long week. So to sum up everything, we'll just show you the 7-day, and I think we'll call it a night. Now, here's the deal. I'll be watching the radar close. Ben is on standby if needed. He'll come in. We can cover this stuff if it does need coverage. If it's just general thunderstorms, there's no reason to come in. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be watching it. That's a good question. When do storms hit Northwest Arkansas? If they do happen, if it does happen at all, Beth, it would be around 3 to 4 a.m., I think. What do you think that's about
Yeah,
right?
I think that's a good time frame.
7-day forecast. This is what we got. We have the potential for strong storms in the morning, perhaps maybe some storms in the afternoon. Mother's Day, possibility of storms. It's a chance of storms. It's not set in stone that it will happen. I'm really interested to see how this all pans out because I have no clue how it's going to evolve. I really don't. I don't think anybody does. You can't because one thing's showing one thing, another thing's showing another. The boundary doesn't move in. It's all. Here's the deal. It's all chain reaction forecasts. Everything is a chain reaction because one thing has to happen in terms of a very small scale detail that's not determined. That downwind or downstream changes another thing, like an outflow boundary. That outflow boundary sparks off additional storms and all that stuff. And so, yeah, pretty crazy.
But we are getting more confident in that front coming through late next week.
Yeah, that I would say, unfortunately, is going to be very confident on Friday.
Yeah.
Hopefully it moves in Thursday because it can
Yeah.
always come in faster. That's a possibility. So there's those storm chances. River Valley, you guessed it, same thing. Storm chances on and off. Just can't remove them. Can't take them out of the forecast. For tomorrow, if you're wondering about exact timing, I mean, this is the best we can do. But this is a look 40%, then down to 20%. So during the late morning, and then it kind of bumps back up with the daytime heating.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Oh, that was it. Yeah, it bumps back up with the daytime heating.
Butterfly effect like conditions. You know that? You've heard of that? Butterfly flaps its wings a little longer. That can downstream create a giant storm because it's extra spin in the atmosphere.
Oh, okay.
Chaos theory. It's all about chaos theory. So Razorbacks got a good victory. That was awesome. Josh was pumped up. Fans were pumped up tonight. Fireworks too. That was cool to see. And so one last look at the radar here, and we'll see if that's evolving. It's got a little spin on the leading edge of it. There's definitely a lot of instability off to the west. There's no doubt about that. But it's starting to become more elevated instead of surface-based. And what does that mean? That means less tornado potential. Yeah, maybe that will hold together looking at it. It might accelerate, come down a little faster. I don't know. We'll see how this happens. Is Kraken hockey tomorrow, or is it? I thought the Kraken game was Sunday, but you would know. Saturday or Sunday? The Kraken, Seattle Kraken.
Not sure.
What do you think, Zach? Shut her down. We're
Yeah.
gonna shut it down at 11:30.
All right.
11:30. So we got about 3 more minutes. Saturday game 6, Monday game 7. Game 7. You already think it's going to a game 7, huh? No sleep Monday night. Oh man, Josh, you're gonna run yourself down. So let me know if you got a question. This has been an exhausting week just because trying to figure out when it rains. Like, if you might remember, we had storms Monday. So that started it all off. It was waiting. And finally, a couple isolated storms popped up. Tuesday, when was the rain chances there? Was it that in the morning?
Tuesday we had that overnight MCS.
Yeah.
That kind of gave us some decent rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some pretty heavy rain, but not a whole lot of severe.
Oh, that's a good question. What's your max on bench?
A max on bench press?
Oh, yeah. What's it? What do you got?
I don't really max out bench press, Josh.
If you had to, what would you do?
I don't know. I mean, I could probably do over 225.
Once
I
or
don't
more
know.
than once?
I mean, I've benched like 230 when I was like 16, but I don't really max out. So
He's throwing it up 10 times. That's why. How does Friday the 19th look for Elkins? Candace, I hope you're joking because we can't even figure it out 12 hours out.
Well, that's that potential front coming through.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Candace. So
Yeah.
we actually do have an idea that storms are going to pop up on that day. I thought that was the following. No, that's
Yeah,
definitely not the
19th.
following. 19th is in a week. Yeah, I'm sorry, Candace, we can do that. Yeah, storms are looking very likely that day. Zach's humble in the gym.
Let the weights do the talking.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Someone walks by and goes, dude, that dude's strong. Sorry, I know it's graduation. It is, and we've got a graduation party. So at our house, outdoors. That's gonna be interesting. You know, I'm looking at the latest, I'm watching this. It's starting to pick up momentum and it's moving to the southeast a little bit more.
My question is tomorrow morning rain chances, because
I know.
if this holds together, then it could be a pretty wet start to Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But through 7 a.m., after 7 a.m.,
I mean it's moving very slowly, and ahead of that there's nothing but moisture.
yeah.
But you see that outflow, so we'll become outflow
Yeah.
dominant. I don't know.
When you get one of those weather ties, man, you need some weather ties.
Weather ties?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Guess I should.
We will have to make that happen. See, I just have little isolated storms popping up here.
It's an appropriate tie.
Yeah. Little isolated storms in the summer. All right, man. Well, I think that does it. It's 11:30. I've got a Taco Bell order that my son put in, and I got to go pick that up. And we will catch you guys later. Zach will have the latest tomorrow. We'll know tomorrow afternoon what happened.
We'll know tomorrow.
Tomorrow
For sure.
afternoon, yeah. And then Sunday, we'll just play it by ear. I still think storm chance is possible, but wake up with the radar and look, and it's always nice to see how it comes to head, comes to fruition.
And we'll be watching those storms
See how
tonight.
it evolves. All right, guys, take care. Thanks for bearing with us for this week. It's been difficult, but it's my Friday. I'm out. We'll see you guys. Peace. I'm out of here.